Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome back to the MOVIEVERSE podcast show. Today we're doing a little bit of a different episode. We're doing our 2016 Oscar predictions because tonight is the Oscars. And I feel we should do our, of course, my name is the Habitual Pixel. My co-host Big Nasty Productions. If you're new around here, we talk a lot. And today we're going to talk about the Oscars, give our predictions, thoughts on snubbery and things like that. But I will give the old warning. The Oscars are indeed bullshit, but it is the most widely accepted celebration of film, so that's why, as a lover of film, that we must take notice. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I could get into the politics, but it's really just no fun. So we're gonna do our predictions here for the best films of the year. I guess we should start with the honorary title of Best Picture. The nominees are The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max, The Martian, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. Of course, there will be links to all of the reviews to all of those films down below. What do you think? Best Picture of the year?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to The Revenant just because of the amount of work that went into shooting a film like that. Mm-hmm. But I do think that the sleeper pick really in the Best Picture category would have to be Bridge of Spies. Bridge of Spies is easily one of the best pictures of the year, and in my opinion, it's Steven Spielberg finally returning to form as far as doing a political drama. This is a million times better than what he was attempting with Lincoln. I do understand he's a little more limited with that, even though he had, one of the greatest actors of all time.
Yeah.
With this, because it's not Tom Hanks that makes this movie. This is just a great, great film. I honestly thought it was probably the best of the year. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it wins Best Picture. It has some great cinematography, great camera work in general. It's really well shot. It's definitely very well acted. And not to mention, it has probably one of the best plots of the Best Picture nominations.
It is a cool plot.
Now, having said that, my secondary pick, if there were to be one other than Bridge of Spies, I would think Room actually still has a chance in contention. Because I do think Room, like we talked about in our review there, I think it was another one that was put together so well and really captured the essence of the book it was adapted from. It's definitely going home with at least a couple awards, if not one.
Room would have to be my sleeper hit of the year. I owe Bridge of Spies a rewatch, as we talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah, Room's definitely my sleeper hit. In an ideal world, we'd give it to Mad Max just because it's a very, if not now, when? When are we gonna get another R-rated blockbuster like Mad Max going home with the Best Picture award? And it's just, I don't know. I'd like to see that happen, but I just don't see it happening, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I agree. In an ideal world, Mad Max would definitely be the best candidate, but unfortunately, I think it's going to be one of the more serious dramas, which is why I think really the three that are in the running are Bridge of Spies, Room, and The Revenant. And like you said, your sleeper pick would definitely be The Room for that. Mm-hmm. Mine would have to be Bridge of Spies.
All right, I could see The Revenant getting it, as you mentioned. I'm gonna pick Room though for Best Picture. Just because I would prefer the sleeper hit to win over The Revenant. I could definitely see The Revenant. It's a worthy film. Like, it's some true passion went into making it. But
for the amount of money, I just don't think it's good enough with how much it costs us compared to either of the other two films. You know what I mean?
If it costs more than Mad Max, come on now, right?
It's odd, right?
I don't know if that's true, but
I doubt it, because I know Mad Max had to do a bunch of reshoots and all that stuff too. But
yeah, but I know that's
I
guess that's true of The Revenant as well.
Oh right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was some. I guess they had many people just leave the set because of the conditions they were filming in. Supposedly,
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. See, Mad Max budget was 150, and
so barely over.
I don't know, and not to talk too much about money, but what George pulled off in Mad Max for that money is nothing short of amazing. Like,
you know what? I am hopeful that the Mad Max gets it done, because Mad Max is a better chase film than The Revenant, and it's barely cost more.
That's right.
Or a better revenge film, if you will, even.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm gonna say Room for sleeper, Mad Max for the little kid in me just wants to see that win.
Yeah, Mad Max, that'd be awesome. But yeah. Yeah, Bridge of Spies for me, and I do think that The Revenant, honestly, just because with Leonardo DiCaprio and the
I
fact
wouldn't be
that
sad
Alejandro
about
won
it.
last year,
Mm-hmm.
I do think there's a very high percentage that both of us are going to be disappointed come tonight, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, I don't think that it's good enough to win. Because
that's
if The
good.
Revenant
It is
wins,
good, but yeah, you're right.
that's what it is. Like even like I agree with you that Room should be up there. I think it should be between Room and Bridge of Spies because if The Revenant wins, then in my opinion, Mad Max should have won.
Yeah, that's yeah, right on the nose there. Um, if it all depends on the jury or whatever, the Academy, if you will, the jury.
The
Um,
Academy.
but yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. If Revenant wins, Mad Max should have won. At least
Yeah.
this year, it's you can't decide what movies come out what year, right? But this year, Mad Max is there's nothing quite like it. But I won't be, I will be a little disappointed, but I won't be surprised if Revenant wins. It's just, like we said in our review of The Revenant, we can't keep pelting this guy with Oscars. He's going to
No.
go to his head, and his next movie is going to cost $200 million and flop. You need this guy to, Alejandro is a great filmmaker, and he will do incredible shit once he gets the right script, the right budget. Somebody tones it back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? He stops trying to kill Leo with bears, things like that.
Well, yeah, like I said when we were doing the review of The Revenant, it's definitely better than Birdman last year. I think more deserving of the title than Birdman was last year. But
He's an excellent filmmaker, he really is. But
I think there's better pictures all around this year.
he's not. His films aren't necessarily as entertaining, I'll say. Yeah, that's it. When it comes to entertainment value, Mad Max is bang for buck. But yeah, all right, let's move on.
Should we go on to actor in a leading role?
Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna go top to bottom here.
All right.
Actor in a leading role. The nominees are Bryan Cranston for Trumbo, Matt Damon for The Martian, DiCaprio for The Revenant, Michael Fassbender for Steve Jobs, and Eddie Redmayne for The Danish Girl. Is that all of them? Yes. All right. Some good acting here, and of course, people are saying, fingers crossed, this is Leo's year. I don't see it though. I think we're on the same page here. I'm gonna give it to probably Bryan Cranston for Trumbo.
I honestly don't think there's really a competition. Leonardo DiCaprio, as we talked about in our review for The Revenant, which you can check out the link. As we talked about in that, it's a good performance, but not one of his greatest. Bryan Cranston, I mean, absolutely kills it.
He kind of steals the show in Trumbo.
Yeah. And realistically, it should be between him and Fassbender. Fassbender, as much Steve Jobs, I don't think was a very good movie,
No,
but
me neither.
Fassbender does an incredible job in it.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan Cranston, on the other hand, is just a little bit better. Matt Damon is one of the best performances of his career in The Martian, but it's still not better than Bryan Cranston in Trumbo.
Yeah, that's saying something. It's true. All good performances. I unfortunately haven't seen Danish Girl. I will at some point, but it's
Eddie Redmayne and his freaking Oscar bait.
Mm-hmm. Eddie Redmayne's a decent actor, but Danish Girl seems like an Oscar bait movie to me. I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure.
Especially
I will.
as his follow up to The Theory of Everything. I
Yeah,
mean, come on
yeah.
now.
I'm sure I'll see it at some point, but whatever. But I'm gonna give it to Cranston for Trumbo.
Yeah. Same here, 100%.
If it's one of those weird honorary things that they're just giving it to DiCaprio because, hey, it's time, I'd be okay with that too. But there's a trend in the Oscars of giving awards to people that for the wrong movie, if you know what I'm saying. Like
Yep.
Scorsese for Departed, when really like Goodfellas, like come on, things like that, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
100%. And if Leo did win it, it would be a get for the wrong movie. It should have been Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, exactly. Wolf is better, and I'm sure he'll do something in the next couple of years that'll be arguably better as well. But anywho, we shall move on to actress in a lead role. Alright, the nominees we have are Kate Blanchett for Carol, Brie Larson for Room, Jennifer Lawrence for Joy, Charlotte Rampling for 45 Years, and how did we pronounce her name?
Saoirse.
Saoirse Ronan for Brooklyn. Alright, what do you think of the nominees here?
Well, Kate Blanchett, I haven't actually finished watching Carol. I did get about halfway through it, but Kate Blanchett does do a
did I.
fantastic job.
I
But
like Kate
I
Blanchett.
still think it's Brie Larson. Honestly, Brie Larson, just because it was such, I didn't see this coming at all with
I'll
the
agree with you.
performance that she gives, especially considering I pretty much just know her from 21 Jump Street.
Yeah,
But
right.
it's the performance she gives, just it's so much more powerful and it's so much more of a deep story with an emotional bond to the character because of the things that her and her son go through in the film. And with the fact that, like I said, with Room, if it doesn't win Best Picture, it's definitely picking up a bunch of other awards. I think this is
I hope so,
100%
anyways.
Brie Larson's. It's definitely between her and Kate Blanchett for sure, but I think 100% Brie Larson's.
Yep, I'm gonna agree with you. I didn't see Room coming at all, and her performance is amazing in it. I would love to see her pick up one. Jennifer Lawrence did okay in Joy. Just the movie itself was a bit of a letdown. I much prefer her in things like American Hustle and even Silver Linings Playbook, and especially X-Men. But great. I love Jennifer Lawrence, but it's just not her best movie or her best performance either. I'm gonna give it to Brie Larson as well. Haven't seen 45 Years, unfortunately, so I'm not sure about Charlotte's performance. Miss Ronan's performance in Brooklyn we touched on. It's a fine performance. It's just a lousy character, unfortunately. And of course,
It's definitely not the best because of that.
Kate Blanchett is a boss of acting, though. She's a great actress. But I'm still going to give it to Brie. I would say Brie, between Brie and Kate.
It might be one of those situations where you don't know if or when they're going to be back as a nominee for that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I hope it goes to Brie. That would be a...
I hope she keeps doing things like that because that was fantastic.
Yeah, Room overall, I think, is definitely my sleeper hit. All right, actor in a supporting role. We have Christian Bale for The Big Short, Tom Hardy for Revenant, Mark Ruffalo for Spotlight, Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies, and believe it or not, still Sylvester Stallone for Creed. Those are the nominees for supporting.
Yeah.
You want to go first? Go ahead.
I don't know if Sylvester Stallone's only nominated just out of the lack of people that they really thought were supporting characters that were decent enough. I don't know how the hell that crept in there. It's kind of odd.
Right?
Especially considering things like Sicario and Trumbo. There's a couple people that could have went in.
And what's his face in Hateful Eight, man?
Oh, yeah, Hateful Eight for sure. Yeah, Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell, 100%. Yeah.
Because I've seen Creed, and while it's not a bad movie, it's definitely one of the...
But...
It's a better. It's like better. Sorry, one of the better Rocky movies, I guess, if you call it that. 'Cause I don't know if it's supposed to be its own franchise, but it's in the Rocky universe.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's definitely one of the better ones, but it's nothing overly impressive, especially with Sylvester Stallone. He's just Mickey 2.0 and just does it as Rocky. And I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's not that great. I don't know why he was nominated
kind of
over Kurt
odd
Russell.
Nomination, eh?
Yeah, over Kurt Russell, I just don't get it. Christian Bale. Okay, he was probably the best character in The Big Short, so I can understand that.
Definitely most character, the most eccentric character.
100% though, it has to be Tom Hardy.
Yeah, we're on the same page for this one too.
Best performance in his career other than Bronson.
I love Tom Hardy. He keeps doing awesome shit for the most part. I can't wait to see him do more stuff like this though.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is awesome. It's just fantastic.
He's a cool bad guy, man. And he should be used for more stuff like this. And he's not necessarily the bad guy, but
just don't do more stuff like Lawless.
Yeah, yeah. He's had some odd choices in his career, but yeah, I'd give it to Tom Hardy. And if not Christian Bale, I could see that being all right too. Mark Ruffalo was fine in Spotlight, but he was not much of a stretch of a character, in my opinion.
No, there was nothing special about it. There was nothing really memorable about the performance.
I liked him better in even Zodiac, for example. I thought it was a better performance.
Well, last year in Foxcatcher.
Yeah, sorry.
Easily one of his best performances of his career, in my opinion. That's another one where if he gets it, because I don't know, did he win for that? I hope he did. I think he might
remember. I'm not sure.
No, either way. We were talking about Hateful Eight before with Kurt Russell, speaking of people that dig in there, but speaking of Hateful Eight, actress in a supporting role has to be Jennifer Jason Leigh.
We're on the same page for this one as well. I'll agree with you big time. I love that performance. Nominees for supporting actress are, of course, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Rooney Mara for Carol, Rachel McAdams for Spotlight. There's my questionable nominee. Alicia Vikander, for The Danish Girl, and Kate Winslet for Steve Jobs. Yeah, you already said it though. Jennifer Jason Leigh for The Hateful Eight. I love
Rachel
her.
McAdams is one of the ones I don't get. That should have 100% gone to Emily Blunt for Sicario. I don't know why it went to Rachel McAdams. Doesn't really make sense to me.
I agree. Another case of I don't mind Rachel as an actress, but that role was absolutely nothing special. I'm not sure why it's here.
Well, I guess if Emily Blunt were going to get nominated, it would have to have been for Best Actress, but still.
Probably, yeah. Again, I like Rooney Mara as an actress as well, and Carol was a fine movie. What I remember of it, I was gonna say I fell asleep. I haven't seen The Danish Girl, like I said, and Kate Winslet was so in Steve Jobs. Like you said, the movie was just average, way too average.
Yeah, that's exactly the best way to describe it. It was overly average.
Mm-hmm. It was a Sorkin dialogue fest, and hey. Yeah, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Hateful Eight, that performance as, oh man, so good. So good. And of course, Daisy Donahue. And Hateful Eight is a great movie. One of my favorites of the year, for sure. Alright, moving briskly along to animated feature film, we have Anomalisa, which I still haven't seen in its entirety. The long trailer, just clearly it's something special. But the other nominees are, what is this, Boy and the World, Inside Out, Shaun the Sheep movie, and When
Marnie was there.
When Marnie was there. Sorry, that's an anime. Yes, I don't know. I haven't seen all of these, so I can't give a fair comment to all of them. Looks like Shaun the Sheep movie is yeah, it's by the Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit people.
Shaun the Sheep was a television show before. That's why it's Shaun the Sheep the movie.
Yeah, I remember. I was hoping that's what that was. I haven't seen that either. I've unfortunately only seen Inside Out of these nominees. Inside Out was fine, but Pixar as a studio has done far better work in the past with the Incredibles and When Wall-E, in my opinion. Not up to the same caliber.
Yep, I agree completely. It's definitely not in the top of Pixar's or even Disney's categories or their backlog there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Anomalisa honestly could have been up there for Best Picture.
Yeah, I'll let you cover that one. I'm gonna just agree with you just by its description, and of course the look of the trailer is beautiful. But it's your pick
just the
as well.
opening scene is absolutely insane. Like just the opening scene, because it looks like it's panning across what do you call it, skyline. I think it comes zooming back in, closes back in through an airplane window, focuses on the character, and all of this is just like the little claymation guys.
Yeah, I know.
And it's all like the way that the camera work of it is insane. Like it's like it's actual little sets inside of models. It's fabulous. Like I've never seen anything like it before. It's just like it's hard to explain because it's so different. Essentially it's a really really good drama, but done in an animated form. It's just that's how they chose to do it.
The praise it's getting is crazy.
This would have been Best Picture 100% if it was done. The same story was done with live action actors.
Yeah,
I 100%. I have no doubts this would have been up for Best Picture.
I feel it should be worthy of the nominee. If not, I don't know if an animated film is ever. Or
it's
when the last time
the detail in it and everything is just nuts. Like that's where Shaun the Sheep. This is a 10 times better version of the type of things they do on Shaun the Sheep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, and I don't know much about the animation style, like what goes into it, but holy shit, like the detail and just the design and the realism of the real world, like the intricacy inside of Anomalisa is absolutely fantastic. It's definitely a must see. It's out of all the movies here, aside from say like Mad Max, I mean in the Oscars in general, every movie nominated for anything that I've seen, it's definitely one of the most must see.
Yeah. It's definitely on my list, and it will be watched before tonight's main event. That's for sure.
If you're a cinephile or extremely into films,
I love animation.
You are obviously, but so
I love me some animation. All right, cinematography.
That's what I mean. It almost transcends animation. It shouldn't. I feel like it belongs in the Best Picture category, but
I'm not sure when the last time that's happened. Animated. It's been nominated for Best Feature. Should look into that. Anywho, cinematography. The 5 films for cinematography this year are Carol, The Hateful Eight, Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant, and Sicario, to their respective cinematographers. I don't know. What do you think?
It's hard to say between Revenant and Mad Max because, like we talked about in the reviews there with Revenant, they're very similar in the way that they're kind of laid out as sort of chase or revenge films, but they all follow a linear path where one person's just following another, vice versa. I gotta say, Mad Max is because it's a faster paced, more action packed, with more to it. I gotta say, I think cinematography has to go to Mad Max. I mean,
Yeah.
The Revenant was beautiful in some of the scenes they do, especially the opening scene with the fight with the Indians, where everybody gets slaughtered and they're doing like a 360 with the camera around the fighting areas. That's
That
great,
was
but
gorgeous,
with Mad
yeah.
Max, you have like a 2 hour
Version
long action sequence. It's insane.
I'll agree. I'll give it to Mad Max faux show, just because of it's like something that takes multiple viewings to even notice. The action is filmed and edited, and we'll get to editing in such a way that it's so clear and you know where everything is, and there's no choppy cuts. There's no faking it. Everything is real. It's crisp. It's clear. I'm gonna agree. Mad Max Fury Road is an achievement. Not that The Revenant isn't fucking gorgeous, because it is, but Mad Max Fury Road is like, I don't know. It's one of the best. It's one of the best looking films I've ever seen. Just like the way they do the action, it's incredible.
Also, I mean, a great action movie is the action sequences are all about great cinematography and editing, and that's Mad Max in a
It
nutshell.
has to be, yeah. The action has to be clear and understandable, and you can tell where everyone is in relation to each other, especially with chase scenes when all kinds of crazy shit's going
so
on.
good.
And in Mad Max, you know where everything is, and it all makes sense, despite what's going on being absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
I love that movie. All right, costume design. We have the nominees are. We have Carol, we have Cinderella, The Danish Girl, Mad Max Fury Road again, and The Revenant. What do you think?
Well, I haven't seen The Danish Girl or Cinderella, so
Neither
I can't
have
really
I.
comment on those two. But between Carol, Mad Max, and The Revenant, I was leaning towards The Revenant because they do a really good job of having the sort of 1820 like frontiersman look, especially with Leonardo DiCaprio when he has the bear
Oh yeah.
over him and stuff like that. But Mad Max has obviously the post-apocalyptic wasteland down to a T,
Oh
and
yes.
from the beginning where he's almost like the insane drifter with like the long beard and long hair, eating the lizard head, all the way to the end with Furiosa, her arm, the way that they did Charlize Theron's arm the entire time.
You would think she actually chopped the
Yeah.
fucking
And
thing off.
the work that went into Immortan Joe, like the way he looked and
Yes.
those things. Yeah, I think it has to be Mad Max.
I'll
The fact
agree.
like Star Wars wasn't in here, so
I
in my
could see
opinion,
Star Wars maybe. Yeah.
for costume design, I could definitely see it. But Mad Max Fury Road has to be my pick.
I'll agree. I have, of course, The Revenant. I did like the look of that as well. All the crazy furs and crazy coats that they were wearing. Beautiful. But Mad Max is like, it's like a Fallout cosplay turned up to 30. It's ridiculous.
Right.
It's beautiful. I love everything about the style of Mad Max and the effort. Like you said, Immortan Joe, the people who play his even his minion, his brother is like, oh, everything is done up amazing.
Yeah, it's spot on. Even down to the chastity belts that they drop off with the crazy teeth on them.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, that's part of the costume design. So those are pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, Immortan Joe is a ridiculous character. I love it. All right, we should move on to, I guess, directing. Right on. We have The Big Short for Adam McKay, Mad Max Fury Road for George Miller, The Revenant for Alejandro, The Room for Lenny Abrahamson, Spotlight for Tom McCarthy. Yes, those are the nominees for directing. This is another case of I really want this to go to George.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this goes to George Miller. I mean, the only other person didn't Alejandro win last year? He won
Yes,
Best Director
last year Birdman was last
with Birdman. Yeah. So he won last year with Birdman, which, to be honest, he shouldn't have won with Birdman. That should have
Mm-hmm.
been that honor should have went to the director of Grand Budapest Hotel. Sorry, and this
Wes.
year the Revenant is far better than what he did um,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
with Birdman. But again, like you said, George Miller, Mad Max Fury Road is something to behold, and it's basically a similar movie, but way more action packed. So yeah, I'm gonna go with George Miller.
So do I, man, and I can see it going to Alejandro, and I can even see it going to Lenny Abrahamson for Room would even be okay with me. But that like Fury Road, there's just it's so incredible. The fact that this old man, he's in his 70s, goddamn it, and he pulled this shit off. It's fantastic. It should go to him. It should just go to him.
That's what I mean. It's like the fluidity between scenes when he transitions from like crazy action scenes with all sorts of practical effects and crazy camera angle cuts or and edits and things like that, and goes right into a scene that's a more serious scene and carries on with through Charlize Theron and some of the girls where it's a more emotional scene and stuff like that. It works perfectly. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like the way that there's no parts of Mad Max where it feels off.
Exactly. Mad Max is a near perfect film, in my opinion. I would give it to him. All right. We're not gonna do every single one because some of these are gonna exclude films that we have seen entirely, but we will do documentary feature. We have Amy, the story of course, what's her
Amy
face?
Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse. Cartel Land, The Look of Silence, Winter on Fire, Ukraine's Fight for Freedom, and What Happened, Miss Simone. I unfortunately haven't seen many of these. I've seen Amy and Cartel Land. I know you've seen a couple more, but I'd have to give it to Amy. I liked Amy. It was
Yeah,
an
I would agree
interesting
with you.
story. And I didn't
But
really care much for her or her music, so that's saying
yeah,
something.
exactly. I felt the same way. Colleen made me watch it with her, and I
I mean, I
was
didn't hate her music, but
yeah.
still, not my thing.
The only reason I watched it, she wanted to watch it, and she tells me that it was nominated for best documentary. So I figured, hey, might as well
Sure.
check it out then. So I watched it, and it's basically it's just the way that they make this is so much different than the way that the other four are done here. It's truly like a special documentary. The way that it's done with a lot of the footage from when she's younger and shows really her personal life outside of the fact of what she didn't want about fame,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the fact that I didn't know that she was bulimic as well as an alcoholic and drug addict. I didn't realize that there was a bulimia issue there as well. And it
Yeah,
kind of
she
shows you
was a
that people
troubled
kind of
person.
well, it shows you really like kind of again like what the media and the people kind of bashing on people. It's worse now with all with Twitter and everything like that with like the celebrity mean tweets. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, if the shit like that is serious, and people who are sensitive or whatever take it seriously, like someone like this, where people just constantly want a piece of you, it really shows you what that type of fame could do to somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
if you don't have the psyche for it,
hmm.
this fame will fuck you up. I'd have to give it to Amy as well. Cartel Land was awesome. That's just because I love,
Cartel Land was awesome,
I
but
loved Narcos, and that's one of my favorite settings for things like that. Call me, whatever. I enjoyed it, but it was, I don't think it was, Amy was the better documentary.
Amy was more moving to me than
Yeah, there.
if I felt more like emotionally attached with the story for the documentary with Amy than I did with any of the other ones. Just because, like you said, I didn't like her music or really think much of her, but it makes you feel for her. It really does
Oh yeah,
because
for
the
sure.
fame basically destroyed her. It's just kind of
It did, and I know that's a cliche tale, but it's nothing like seeing it firsthand. Understand it a little bit. Right?
yeah, it's sad, right?
It is really sad. Documentary short subject. Sorry, we're gonna skip just because I haven't seen any of these, and I don't even know where to see any of these. If you
Fortunately,
know, once again, I believe I asked this last year, but if you know where to see these, let us know. I don't know. We're not on the academy, so we don't have access to them. Moving along, film editing. We have The Big Short, Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant, Spotlight, and Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Yeah, I love seeing Star Wars up here with the big boys. It's been a while. Film editing, though. What do you think?
well, I do find it odd that Star Wars is up here because it's just like the original Star Wars in the way that it's edited with wipes and everything like that.
It's
But
more deserving of like sound and special effects.
yeah, yeah. I think it's a little past its prime as far as editing goes, being the fact that it's based off of a '70s model for a science fiction fantasy flick.
Which was
But
based off of samurai films
yeah,
from the
samurai films.
40s.
But yeah, so again, this is another one where I feel there's only two horses in the race, and it's pretty much just between either Mad Max or The Revenant.
hmm
And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to The Revenant, but again, in my opinion, the cinematography and the editing go hand in hand. And
They do. They really do for Mad Max.
if that's the case, I mean, Mad Max just has so much more in terms of the amount of what goes into shooting and editing to get those scenes perfect, for the chase scenes, for the different action scenes with the cars, for the practical effects, for things like that. The editing, the time it would have taken for Mad Max has to have been just absolutely
Monumental. Yeah.
somebody probably died. Somebody had to have at least died once.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine. Like you said, they do go hand in hand. Film editing and cinematography go hand in hand with Mad Max. Like I said, everything is clear and understandable for a reason. That's because the cinematography and the editing are on point. When people go left to right and whatnot, those subtle things that you don't notice at first, but it all clicks. I'm gonna give it to Mad Max as well.
It's the slight editing issues with The Revenant are just the pacing issues, right? Whereas Mad Max to me doesn't have those pacing issues, and
No.
it's almost just as long.
Yeah, that's the. I have nothing. I know we gave Revenant shit for being long. I have nothing against long movies. I love like Lord of the Rings extended cut, for fuck's sakes. But you can't. No comment. You can't have it that long with the pacing that slow, right? And,
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings has hella pacing issues, but that's
Mad Max is more
paced
more
perfectly.
finely tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah, for editing and cinematography. Again, it's definitely going to Mad Max.
it's a fun ride. We're gonna skip foreign language film this
Aw.
time because have you seen any of these? I
No,
seen
I have
none of
not.
these. I'm not opposed to seeing any of them if you have a place where we can legally watch them with.
I want to see this one called A War. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'm always down for a good film.
I feel like that's going to be pretty heart wrenching.
It's probably gonna be sad as fuck, but I'm all for a foreign film if it's good and has subtitles. That's all I need. But we're gonna skip it. Makeup and hairstyling, only 3 nominees. Interesting. Mad Max, the 100-year-old man who climbed
Right there at the window.
at the window. Okay, not sure what that is. And The Revenant. Mad Max. I'm gonna give it to that as well.
Yeah, it's the 100-year-old man who climbed out the window and disappeared. It's super weird.
Yeah,
I've seen the trailer. I've never watched the movie, but it
haven't
seems
even-
really strange.
It does seem really strange. Jesus, what the fuck? Anyway. I'd give it to Mad Max or The Revenant. Because
Yep.
The Revenant, they all looked rugged as fuck, and it was real nice as well. But the Mad Max is the apocalypse, and the especially all the peasants underneath the Morton Joe's hideout. Like, oh my god, they the way they uglied those people up. Holy shit, it was fantastic. Gotta
Yeah,
give it to
I would agree. It has to be Mad Max.
All right, music in an original score. We have Bridge of Spies, Carol, The Hateful Eight, Sicario, and Star Wars: Force Awakens. John Williams back again.
John Williams.
What do you think, John Williams for
John
Star Wars?
Williams, yeah.
Yes, I agree 100%. There's no
If-
way.
If not, Sicario. Sicario
Yeah.
had a pretty good
Yeah.
original score, if not great.
I'm looking forward to watching Sicario in its entirety. I know the trailer looks awesome, but yeah, I agree 100%.
The Hateful
Star
Eight
Wars.
also had a great score as well, but
And-
Sicario and Star Wars were definitely the best. I hope it's John Williams, but I mean, I could definitely see Sicario winning it.
It would be cool to see what this guy whose name I can't pronounce win for Hateful Eight, just because he is the OG from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, who did like that.
I think his name's Ennio Morricone.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. I'd be fine seeing him win an award as well, just for a lifetime of awesome work. But same with John Williams. I can't. There's nothing like the Star Wars theme, and when it came back on the screen, the duh, I felt things that I haven't felt since I was a young man, and John Williams deserves it. All right. Original song. This is great.
No.
Fuck. Earned It from 50 Shades of Grey. Manta Ray from Racing Extinction. Simple Song number 3 from Youth. Till It Happens to You from The Hunting. And Writing on the Wall from Spectre. James Bond. Or 007 Spectre.
From The Hunting Ground. And
Oh,
I don't know about any of these. I just really hope that song from 50 Shades of Grey doesn't win.
Yep, that's my nominee as
I don't want anything to legitimize that film.
No, me neither. I want 50 Shades of Grey to burn.
I guess its gigantic earnings probably legitimized it a bit, but
it's terrible, though, man. It's so
it is.
bad. It's a romantic story of brainwashing and abuse. Yay. I don't know. I haven't, I may have heard one or two of these songs, but they don't come to mind. I'm going to give it to Writing on the Wall from Spectre, sure.
Just give it to James Bond.
James Bond opening scenes are always spectacular, and I know Spectre's was no different. Movie overall wasn't very good, but the opening scene was fine. Sure. Let's move
I don't think
on.
I've seen Spectre. That's the newest one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Christoph Waltz. It was okay, but Skyfall is much better.
Yeah.
Any hoozle. Production design. We have nominations for Bridge of Spies, The Danish Girl, once again, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, and The Revenant. For production design, I guess that just means the act of pulling it off, more or less. So
again, Mad Max.
Again, I hope George has just a shopping cart full of statues at the end of this thing.
Apparently, his production designer is Colin Gibson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, the effort and precision it would take. I know this took years to produce and many reshoots and expanded budgets, blah, 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 blah. But still, like, the amount of shit this guy blew up in the desert, like, this production would have been insane to pull off, and I gotta give it to that. Again, nothing wrong with The Revenant. I'm sure being out there in the Canadian North was hard as fuck, and whoever kept those people together from quitting, and Leo DiCaprio from freezing to death again. And again, Martian, not a bad production either. Just because, it takes place on a different planet, and that's okay.
Ridley Scott did actually just build it as a set, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the biggest one ever, apparently.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen of Bridge of Spies, that was a fine production as well.
Obviously not him personally. But.
Yeah. No.
He's out there with a hammer.
It's like, God damn it, I directed Alien, god damn it. Oh, that'd be awesome. Do you know who I am? Blade Runner? Oh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. Fantastic.
That'd be dedication. But no, I mean, great productions all around. All 5 of these are excellent in my opinion, but still, Mad Max, that was purely the biggest achievement. All right, short film. Haven't seen any of these, unfortunately. Again, this is another I don't know where to go to see these things. If there's a spot on the internet I can legally watch them, please let me know.
I think at least the short film, they would just have links to it.
Yeah, they should. I mean, maybe some of these are available if I do a little research, but I haven't found them yet. And World of Tomorrow looks like it's stick figures. I love stick figures.
Yeah.
Bear Story is apparently about bears. I love bears too. So
it's like the Berenstain Bears.
Yeah, that's what maybe it's a fucked up version of the Berenstain Bears. We can only hope. But anyways, we're gonna skip it. As well as short film, we'll probably have to skip this too. I haven't seen any of these. Same case. Don't know where to see them. Alright, sound editing. We have Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Star Wars The Force Awakens, and Sicario. All for sound editing.
All of those for sound editing.
They're all fantastically. They all sound great.
Sicario or Star Wars, I believe, would be the two main.
I want to give it to Star
titles
Wars.
in contention. Yeah, again, it's another one. Yeah, hopefully it's Star Wars, but I think it could go with Sicario. Sicario has a really good score, and like the way that the sound sets up the scenes is done very well. So
yeah, that's true.
I would like to see something go to Sicario as well, because I feel it's underrepresented. As far as I think it got snubbed for Best Picture, and I do think it got snubbed for Emily Blunt as Best Actress, and I do think it got snubbed for either Josh Brolin or Benicio del Toro as Best Supporting Actor.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of
this is one of the best movies of the year, Sicario, and I don't understand how it got snubbed so hard.
That's weird. I would give a nom to Star Wars. I would say just because that sound design is still just as iconic as it was in the '70s, and it just sounds so much better and crisper. The TIE fighters, the lightsabers, it all was really well done.
The way the Force works.
Oh yeah, man. And not that I didn't.
It's even got sound added to it.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't. I mean, I loved Mad Max's like big throaty engine sounds and shit like that too. But I'm gonna give it to Star Wars.
Mad Max lost me with the guy. I like metal, but that was ridiculous.
Well, that's when it became a cartoon. Still love that movie though. Sound mixing, which I guess would be the way the music, the sound effects, like everything comes together. That's what I'm led to believe, anyways. The nominees are Bridge of Spies, Mad Max, The Martian, The Revenant, and Star Wars.
I think that one will definitely go to Star Wars.
Almost the exact same set of movies, actually. Yeah, I'd give it to Star Wars as well. I think everything came together so well with the sound of Star Wars.
Mad Max would probably be a close second, but.
Mm-hmm. All right, visual effects, one of my favorite genres. We have Ex Machina, Mad Max Fury Road, Star Wars The Force Awakens, The Martian, and The Revenant. Well, these all had fantastic visual effects, but...
No. Visual effects, correct me if I'm wrong, visual effects would be more CGI oriented, right?
I believe so, yes. Where production design would be more of the
that's what
practicality
I thought. Okay.
of the... With that being the case, and if that's what I'm led to believe, then that's what I'm going to have to put... Do I put Star Wars over Mad Max? I can't tell. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
For visual effects, I think I'm going to have to go with Ex Machina.
Yeah, I will say that the main female AI character there was, I've never seen anything quite like that from a main character.
Mm-hmm.
That was excellent. Again, The Martian had some great scenes. The Revenant bear fight was beautiful, and of course Star Wars just had some great CGI. Mad Max did have a lot of CGI. A lot of people don't know that, but the way they blended it is what's key.
That's true too. I guess Mad Max would be up there. The only problem with that one is that really shitty part with the guitar coming forward.
Mm-hmm. And obviously that crazy ass dust storm was clearly a CGI.
Yeah, it was clearly CGI. Yeah.
But it still looked fantastic in my opinion. I'm gonna give it a Star Wars again. I'm sorry, but
Star Wars.
Yep. Even though Star Killer was just another Death Star, the way it blew up was magnificent.
But this one's bigger.
But this one goes up to 11. That's what they should have just said. And of course, Revenant, best bear fight ever. It gets honorary best bear fight.
Except for actual bear fights in Russia.
Yes, of course. Thankfully, I haven't seen too many of those. But I'm sure there's some corners of the internet you can watch Russian bear fights. I guarantee that's a thing. Right. Adapted screenplay. We have The Big Short, Brooklyn, Carol, The Martian, and Room. Adapted meaning comes from usually a book or a novel of some sort. Sometimes a play or whatnot.
Sometimes even a short.
I'm gonna have to go with Room, and of course I am a bit of a hypocrite. I haven't read the book, but I do know a bit that it is pretty spot on from what I hear. And
Same.
I love the Room script. It was just such a surprise this year. The Martian, it had a lot of differences from the book. The book is superior, but I think it was adapted okay. I mean, that story would be damn near impossible to tell.
Yeah, Colleen told me that Room was like real close to the book, but there was just a little bit more elaborate. It was a little more elaborated on when they were inside the room. So
yeah. Which I'd be interested to read that.
She did still say it was really close though, and with what you told me about the differences with The Martian, it sounds a lot closer than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have to give it to Room then. I haven't read the source. Yeah, of course I haven't read the source material for Big Short, Brooklyn, or Carol. And I can tell you right now, Brooklyn, I don't want to read that shit. The Big Short might be an interesting book, actually, if it is a book, or I'm not sure.
I feel like it might be better as a book.
Mm-hmm. Right? Because The Big Short is such a weird-ass story to tell in a film setting. Anyways, original screenplay, which means it was written specifically for the film. We have Bridge of Spies, Ex Machina, Inside Out, Spotlight, and Straight Outta Compton. One thing for Straight Outta Compton, huh? All right.
I don't think Straight Outta Compton was really Oscar worthy for a lot of these categories.
I could see maybe something in sound or maybe music, but
Yeah, I guess that's music editing.
if there was, music editing, there you go. That would be a fine category for it to be at least be recognized.
True. Yeah, I'll give you that.
But for original screenplay, I'd have to give it to Ex Machina. I'd never seen anything quite like that, told that way. Like, it was very interesting. Though I do owe Bridge of Spies another view. I know Steven Spielberg he's good at what he does, right? He's the master.
Yeah, it's definitely extremely well written, Bridge of Spies, but you're right, Ex Machina, considering the original screenplay was much more original story and much more fresh the way that they approached the, what do you call it, humanoid cybernetics type of story. But yeah, Ex Machina 100%, in my opinion, should be winning for original screenplay.
Yeah, it's one of the most original films of the year. It should not be missed, in my opinion, right along.
Definitely over Straight Outta Compton for being two that aren't really in the conversation with a lot of the Oscars. So.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Straight Outta Compton's adapted, well, not from a screenplay, from actual events, right? I guess so is Spotlight, for that matter. Spotlight was a fine, not a bad movie, right? But it's the script didn't lend too much to that. And Inside Out, again, I'm sorry, Pixar, I love you guys, but things like WALL-E and The Incredibles, far, far better written. Up, especially, way better written than Inside Out. Better luck next time, Pixar. I love you guys, though. I really do. Yeah, so Ex Machina. And is that the last one?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I believe that's the last one. All right, I think we're already at 45 minutes here, but we'll add a quick, what do you think the snubs are this year? Of course, you mentioned Sicario.
Yeah, in my opinion, the biggest snubs are Sicario, Trumbo.
Yep, Trumbo for Best Picture. And Kurt Russell for Best Actor.
Kurt Russell for Best Supporting Actor.
There's no reason that shouldn't have been there.
Oh.
I don't understand. Is there any other ones? Just seeing if there's any other popular opinions. I don't really want.
Idris Elba for Beasts of No Nation.
Oh yeah, that's
I don't think it's a racist thing. I don't like with the Oscars so white shit, but maybe it's just because I'm white. But I really don't give a fuck either way. It's the Academy Awards. It's a bunch of rich dudes in fucking suits. What do you expect? But
yeah, I don't really want to.
I do think Idris Elba should have been nominated for Best Actor, but I don't think Beasts of No Nation should have been nominated. I don't think it really deserved the nomination for Best Picture.
He was good in it.
His performance was fantastic.
Johnny Depp for Black Mass, maybe, as acting. Not. I don't think Black Mass was a perfect.
Actually, you know what? Anybody in the supporting cast for supporting actor or actress would be the one.
Johnny, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think Johnny wasn't as good as the supporting cast.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know.
Except for maybe Dakota Johnson.
I'm just reading popular opinions on snubs here.
Dakota Johnson plays his wife in that, right?
Yeah. I think so. What about Charlize Theron for Best Actress?
Yeah, 100%. She was definitely snubbed. I don't understand that. This was one of her best performances outside of Monster, which she won the Oscar for. So I don't really understand where the thinking was there. It could be just the fact that it was Mad Max, and she was technically not the main character.
No, she is the damn main character. She should.
Yeah, even though she is. Yeah, she definitely is.
Mad Max is. I don't know. Morton Joe is a fucking better supporting character than Max and Mad Max. But Charlize Theron kicked so much ass in Mad Max. I thought she deserves at least a nod. I can see it not winning just because it's a bloody action movie and it's, fat cats in suits. But
Anthony Hopkins won for Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, exactly. She's missing an arm the entire thing, and she's bald. She kills it.
She does a fucking fantastic job in that.
Yeah, that would be. And of course, you mentioned Emily Blunt for Best Actress as well.
Emily Blunt for Best Actress for sure. Another one where it's one of the best performances of her career in Sicario.
One thing I just noticed, actually,
and of course Josh Brolin or Benicio del Toro for supporting actor as well.
One thing I just noticed that I think is a major snub is Hateful Eight wasn't nominated for original screenplay.
It wasn't?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we did it, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't notice that.
So that's too bad, right? I thought Hateful Eight was a really solid script, one of his better scripts in a long time.
That is odd. I can't believe that wasn't...
It did get Best Cinematography, Score, and, of course, Jennifer Jason Leigh, but nothing for his writing. That's weird.
Peculiar, even.
Peculiar. Odd. Anywho.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of snubs this year. I mean, there always is, but this year it seems like there was a lot of undeserving things. Like Rachel McAdams for Best Supporting, I don't really understand.
Yeah.
A couple ones for Best Picture, I don't really understand how they're in there, but...
Yeah, that would be my snubbery list as well. And I want more love for Star Wars, just because I think it's a miracle they pulled that off. But no, I think that pretty much sums it up, right? Anything you want to add?
No, I think we've covered every category there that we could, and done the best on some of the ones that we couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that pretty much does it for the 2016.
Yes, thank you for joining us. I wish the best of luck to Mr. Miller. I hope you get everything you deserve this year. I hope Christmas comes early, really early. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. This has been our predictions, and we might do
2015, I guess I should say.
Yeah, I put 2016. I never know how to do this because it happens in February, and it's called the 2016 Oscars, but it's all movies from 2015. So
and some from 2016.
Yeah, so I'm gonna call it the 2016 Oscar predictions, and yeah, whatever. We'll just leave it at that. The movies from last year, though, that's still the ones we're talking about. Things like Deadpool and whatever. That's this year. That's going to be next year's best picture.
All those Oscar noms that Deadpool will get.
Oh yeah. Well, you never know. Fuck, I've seen weirder things happen. But my name has been the Habitual Pixel. It's my co-host, Big Nasty Productions. And tune in after the fact, and maybe Monday or Tuesday we'll release after the fact what we thought about who cleaned up, how many awards Alejandro ended up getting hit with, things like that. So stay tuned. We'll see you next time.